Hello, this is my testimonial. As you can tell, I've just come from a shift, just finishing on a Saturday afternoon, but that's all good, it's all done now. So hello, I'm Lucy and I'm an RVN from the UK, and I've come across to New Zealand this year to do a work and holiday visa, and I've gone through VetStaff to sort that out. So I found VetStaff super easy. I had no idea what I was looking for, what I wanted to do. I just was like, oh, I fancy working in New Zealand, but I didn't know where to start. A friend had recommended another kind of recruitment company, but they hadn't been overly helpful, and I just felt a bit like, oh, they've not got back to me. I don't really know what to do. I kind of want to get this show on the road really and make my plans. So I contacted VetStaff basically with a few questions. I just said, I'm looking to work on a working holiday visa in New Zealand. Can you help me? I have no idea what else to do. So immediately they were straight back to me with all the questions to all the answers. Honestly, all the answers, they were great. I had so many questions, even things like, will my qualification be okay over there? Is there any insurance I need? Is there any rules I need to know about? Is there any, how does it work over there? Any of that, they were able to answer all of my questions. And it was really useful. They obviously have the veterinary knowledge. They're working in New Zealand with New Zealand practices. They're not elsewhere in the world, so they're based here, from here. It's all super helpful. The staff are great. They've been super helpful, super friendly. I honestly can't thank that high enough, because you bank a lot on the fact that you're trusting them to find you the job that works for you and that you want. And so that's why I've trusted them 100%. They've vetted all these practices. They're trusted practices, and they check in with you regularly, make sure everything's okay, they're getting on fine, how's the clinic, getting some feedback, because they want to make sure they're sending their locums in to good practices and that the job that they've found for them fits. They obviously take a lot of time to find out what job suits you, what you want, so they can find the best fit for you and that you're 100% happy. They have the wage sorted as well, so you don't need to kind of quibble on what am I worth in that time. They really go for like the highest possible that if your experience level that you're worth, which has been really good. So you don't feel like, I don't feel bad asking for that amount of money, because VetStaff have already sorted it. They've got it sorted. They know what's going on in the market, for paying locums, which has been super helpful. There's no need to go through the practice for anything. So if you've got any problems with the roster, if you've got any issues at all, you don't need to, approach anybody at the practice. You can just do it all through VetStaff. Even if you needed to, do anything, if you had any problems or anything, or needed to leave the job or anything like that, you don't need to go through the practice. VetStaff sort it all for you, which is it's a big plus, especially when you are just a temporary member of staff and you don't know everyone particularly well. VetStaff are easy to sort that out, which has been fantastic. I didn't know, but as soon as you kind of go online, these veterinary pages, these working overseas, or these Facebook pages, and say, oh, I'm looking for a job, for example, in New Zealand. I didn't know, but if you contacted a practice on your own, VetStaff then can't get you a job with that group, if that makes sense. So these larger corporates, I had no idea, so I'm really glad I didn't. And I think it's difficult for when you are starting that finding out stage. The temptation is to go on to social media and ask the question, but I would 100% recommend instead emailing VetStaff, because if you don't do that first, then there could be a whole chain of practices that you won't be able to work with, because you've already contacted them and you haven't been sorted through them. So that's one thing I didn't know, and I'm really glad I found out, because you know there's huge chain practices in New Zealand, especially, so it's good to know. They honestly, anything at all, they've been fantastic, even with things to do, places to go in the places that I am, because I don't know that many people. They've been great at even recommending stuff like that, stuff to do, must-sees, things like that. No, they've been absolutely fantastic, and knowing the industry as well really helps. They're not just kind of fitting you into a hole, they're kind of trying to their best to find like a perfect fit for you, which has been great. And even sorting things like accommodation, picking you up from the airport, you know, things like that, all the things that go along with it. And even questions, I had loads of questions about you know, like income tax and bank accounts and all that kind of stuff. They were able to answer all the questions, which was great because I felt like I had a million silly questions, but they were able to answer all of them, and they never made me feel bad that I was asking all of them. So yeah, I'm super grateful to VetStaff. I'm really happy here in New Zealand. They found me some great jobs so far, and yeah, any issues at all, I just go to them. And I've been working with, you know, a couple of the recruiters quite closely, but I feel like I could talk to any of them, you know, Julie, Kajal, Tanya, any of them, and they would go above and beyond to help me out. So yeah, that's been fantastic, and I just want to say thank you.